So, Disney keeps doing this thing where they think they know how lightsabers work, but they really don't. So, they did the same mistake in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that they made with the sequels. Now, just in case you don't know what I'm talking about with the sequels, I'm going to show you so that you can get the recap, just in case you already know. And then we're going to see what they messed up in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. It's kind of sad. So in this fight, I don't even want to talk really about how dumb it is that Finn can use a lightsaber, but I want to talk about how bad the wounds are. And when I'm saying wounds, I mean how good they are, on how people get cut and they don't actually get injured. George never made this mistake. The only time I can think of him making a mistake like this was in episode 2, when Obi-Wan just got cuts from Dooku. But of course, he couldn't be injured because we see him in A New Hope and he has no injuries. But Disney has new characters and they could totally injure them. But watch. The first issue is here at this scene. The fact that this didn't cut through his entire arm is very odd. Now let's move on to the next scene. Seriously, he fully swung at his arm and all it did was leave a little burnt through his clothes and a slight injury on him? That is crazy. But wait, there's more. Come on, at this point all you'd have to do is push the lightsaber through Finn, or it would naturally slice through him, but no. No injury seen. He is paralyzed and comes back in the next movie, but there's no realistic injury. This doesn't make sense at all. The next thing we're going to move on to is how Disney doesn't understand lightsaber battles at all. So let's get on to that now. First of all, let's talk about this fighting. It's pathetic. It's normal for Rey, because she doesn't know how to use the lightsaber, but Kylo Ren is literally, look at this fighting right now. This is the worst lightsaber fighting. Toddlers can fight better than this. I just miss the old style of fighting. I mean, I kind of understand why the fighting's totally different, is because George Lucas wanted to make how Jedi fight in their prime, basically, different than how normal lightsabers fight, but that still doesn't give an excuse for this terrible fighting. We could still get fights like this. I mean, come on, would it really hurt to do something as cool as that? But no, it is not what I'm talking about. Here is the moment I'm talking about. Kylo Ren's goal was to obviously kill Rey, but he's trying to get her to join the dark side, right? But basically, she's like, "Oh, the Force," and she closes her eyes and pretends like, you know, it's part of her now. So now Kylo Ren obviously needs to defeat her. But look what he's doing with his lightsaber. He's just holding it there. All he would have to do is take his hand and move it to the right, and it would destroy her lightsaber, and then he could just defeat her. But he's just locked in a lightsaber with her, and she doesn't even have her eyes open. And he's just holding the lightsaber there all mad. Why would you wait for a time like this? Here's another spot. Just cut off his cloak. Nothing to do with his legs. No injury there. But then, hits him in the shoulder, does not go through his shoulder, just gives him a little cut, little boo-boo. He needs to put a band-aid. And then, obviously, the one that everybody knows about is the one to his face, where she slices his face. Come on, that's literally his head. He's gone. But no. Now, I could go to the throne room scene to show you some more, but I'm making a video on that. So now that we see how Disney really doesn't understand lightsaber fights, and they didn't learn from it, I'm going to show you a scene from Rebels that makes me a little upset, but it's kind of okay because it's an emotional scene. And then we'll get to the Obi-Wan Kenobi part. Now, while this is an emotional scene, I loved it. I mean, once again, that's not... I'm just saying, if George Lucas made this, if the creator of Star Wars made this, that's not how it would have went. That would have killed him. So, now, let's get to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. And it's not just the mask part, it's another scene. let's get to it.
Then you will die.
Next, I'm going to play this for you, and tell me what you think.
Stand where you are.
So here I've slowed it down for you, and you're going to notice that Obi-Wan Kenobi uses his lightsaber as a bat. Do you see it? He uses his lightsaber as a bat and then cuts the shoulder off him when he does a full swing. I also want to show you this scene of the other stormtrooper. There's nothing technically wrong, but it's just weird. Why is Obi-Wan standing so far away, and why is he doing so little damage against stormtrooper armor? Now in this scene, there's the same issues. I'm not going to talk about it too much because I really love this scene and it's very excusable. There's some great parts in this scene.
Anakin's gone. I am what remains.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anakin. For all of it. And my friend is truly dead. Goodbye, Darth.
That moment is definitely excusable. I love that finale. Also, if you want to stick around for a little bit, I'm going to show you the episode 9 scene when Kylo Ren was fighting the guards or the Knights of Ren or whatever they were, and one issue I saw them. So, stick around if you want to see that. Okay, let's talk about this scene. So the Knights of Ren, they come up to Ben Solo now, and they're willing to fight him. And now we have Rey doing the lightsaber thing, and then we know she's going to put it behind the back. But there's a few issues you'll notice. So first of all, he just gets beaten. He gets destroyed by these guys. They get him. He can't really do much. And he's beaten down and doesn't have much of an option. And then here, I'm going to skip this part. Palpatine's like, just strike me down, whatever. So they have no use for Ben Solo. He stands up. They don't even attack him. Even though there's no use for him and their job is to kill him, they just stand there and don't attack him. Why? No idea. Now we're here. And here's the big thing people miss. Nobody is attacking Ben Solo. Look at him. He's standing next to the Knights of Ren, and they are not attacking him. They are standing there and looking at him. Their job is to kill him at all costs, and they're still standing there doing absolutely nothing. Then she does her little lightsaber thing, and then I'll show you what's next. Here we see Ben Solo completely surrender himself and just put his lightsaber behind his back, and for some reason, the guard hits his lightsaber instead of him. Could have just hit him in the legs, anything, got him down. He chooses to hit his lightsaber, and then Ben Solo does the hero thing that he's always meant to do. It's also so cool that Skywalker and Skywalker team up, and they also do this. It's also super cool that Skywalker and Skywalker have a kiss scene, you know. They must have learned something from Luke and Leia or something.